today we're looking at news in regards to the new Moogle Treasure Trove event. These itinerant Moogle events have taken place every time there's a bit of a lull in content between patches, and as you can probably imagine, this one is no different than that, as we are waiting eagerly for 6.3. So Monday, the 12th of December, just around the corner, at 8 AM GMT or 1900 hours AEDT, will be the beginning of the next Moogle Treasure Trove event, also known as the Hunt for Creation, where you'll be able to earn tomes all the way up until the launch of patch 6.3 itself in early January, and be able to get a few rewards. The rewards then we'll look at in just a second, but if you're unfamiliar with how a Moogle event actually works, essentially you challenge an objective that's on the list as we go down, we get these irregular tomestones, and then we exchange them for gear or items or mounts and minions, all that sort of stuff, and then we do it again. So this is basically how this is going to be. This time around, our top tomes of creation will be from Dunscaith and the Praetorium. You get 7 tomes of creation for doing those individually, which means that the Praetorium, with its new changes, is actually a lot shorter than it used to be. So that's actually a really viable option now. It always used to be, but even more so with the rework of that. Dunscaith, not too bad, but a little bit more lengthy, and there is obviously the potentiality for some people new to the actual raid, and it can cause a little bit of an issue with certain bosses like Skatash and, of course, the last boss. For 5 tomes of creation, another Alliance raid, the Weeping City of Marks on here. Not terribly difficult, that one's quite good. We got 3 or 5 irregular tomestones of creation. Obviously, you get 5 tomestones in PvP for a win and 3 for a loss in these particular places. We've got Hidden Gorge, Onsal Hakir Danshig Nadam, the Fields of Glory Shatter, Seal Rock Seas, and of course the Borderlands Ruins Secure. So if you want to do some PvP, basically Frontlines and Hidden Gorge is your option here. If you want 4 tomestones of creation each run, you can do dungeons such as Halatali Hard, Braveflock's Longstop Hard, and Castrum Meriadnum, which has also been very, very much shortened in the new rework of the old Realm Reborn dungeons. These are quite viable. You'll also notice that there is no Aurum Vale this time around, so the Blue Mage runs of Aurum Vale are not going to happen for the creation tomes this time. If you want 3 tomes per run, Porta Decumana, a very quick, just Ultima Weapon normal fight, will give you 3. Void Arc, a fairly long Alliance raid. Then we've got Dismail, Darkhold, Cutter's Cry, and the Sunken Temple of Kharn giving you 3. And then for 2 tomes, which is the lowest one that you can get per run, you can do Kugane or Hashi, which is to fight Yojimbo, quote unquote, and we've also got Battle in the Big Keep and Battle on the Big Bridge. This is especially helpful because a lot of people will be doing their Hildebrand related questlines and storylines that involve doing these trials as part of that storyline, so this actively helps. If, in my opinion, they should have given more creation for this, as this is actually really useful for new players, but it is what it is. So that's your poison. You have to choose which one you would want to actually go and do. My recommendation is the Praetorium and probably some of the 4 irregular tombstone dungeons. See if you can do Halatalia something with Blue Mages. That would probably be quite simple. Anyway, let's move on to the rewards then, and we'll visualize these as well. Firstly, the top tier reward is the Namazu Neckerchief for 100 tomestones of creation. Now, this is not anything new. This actually happened on a previous Moogle event 2 years ago. We had a look at that before, so we can show you here. It is a fantastic neckerchief, and obviously is brandishing the Namazu with a little bell. It's fantastic. If you haven't picked this one up before and missed this, being a Namazu lover myself, I cannot recommend it enough. Then we have the Hallowed Camoy Fife. As you can see, you can go get that one for 50 tomes. That's pretty good. I quite like that particular Wolfie boy. And then we have the Albino Caracol, which is the sheep mount. That's for 50. Very nice. We've got the Falcon Ignition Key. This is something that, if you've missed out before, is kind of impossible to get anywhere else. This used to be part of the Veteran Reward Program system, but you can get it here for 50. Then we have the one of the 2 emotes from this event. We've got Fist Pump, which is also known as Ballroom Etiquette Overzealous Affirmations. If you want to go Fist Pump and support your friends, that'll be 50. Then we have the other emote is Ballroom Etiquette Intelligent Impressions, which is actually /read. So if you want to read a book, take a picture of you in G pose reading a book, this is perfect for that. It's one of the better emotes, I personally think. That will cost you 30 tomes. Then we have 2 orchestrion rolls to finish off the 50 section, which is the Ancient City orchestrion roll. And then we have the Heartless orchestrion roll. So both of those are great if you're into your music and collections. They're 50 each. Now we move on to the other 30s then. We've got the ostensibly special Time War map, which is 2 maps for 30 tomes. These basically guarantee you a portal for level 80 8-player treasure map dungeon. So bear in mind, this isn't the level 90 stuff. This is the level 80 stuff. So if you want to go back in time to Shadowbringers and do some of those time-worn maps, and maybe you still need some rewards mats or something, still sell quite well for Gil, a lot of those materials for the crafted stuff, then you can go do that. Then for 30 we have the Ishgardian half barding, which is a nice chocobo barding. I think you'll agree it's all right. It's nothing special, I suppose. Then we have 2 items, 30 each. We've got the Spotted Fedora and the Spotted Spencer, which look like this together. Both of those individually will cost you 30 tomes. Pretty good, I think. Most people will like those. Then we have the Drake Horn. Now, the Drake Horn is obviously the Cavalry Drake, which is previously from a Tribal Quest reward only. They've done this most of the time. Every time there's a Moogle event, you usually get one of the tribal related mounts. That's 30 tomes. Then we have the Direwolf. That's the other one. Another tribal related mount for 30 tomes. Then we have some of the Aram Reborn trial horse mounts, such as Xanthos for 30. Then we have Enbar for 30. Then we have 2 of the bird mounts from Heavenswood, from the Heavenswood trials. We've got the Dark Lana for 30. And the Sothic Lana for 30. And that sort of covers up the mount section for 30. Then we have MGP Platinum cards. These give you 50,000 MGP when you redeem them in your inventory. These will cost 30 apiece. This is usually what people end up getting passively when they're doing content, when they don't want anything else. It's actually a really good way of capping out on MGP. Great option if you have nothing else to get. Then we got some housing items which we can show you. The Brick Garden Wall will cost you 20. This, of course, is the outdoor furnishing with the flowers and a little hole in the wall. Did a video on this a while ago. In fact, I've done a video on literally nearly every single one of these items, so feel free to search those on my channel. We have the Marble Alcove Bed for 20. A very nice bed. It's basically makes it like a separate little room. It's beautiful. I love that for 20. The Mahogany Aqueduct for 20. Then we have the Indoor Pond for 20, which is really nice. I like the indoor pond. We have the Barrel Table for 20. The Giant Beaver Burger Set for 20, which is a tabletop food item. You can use that 10 times. It gives you a food buff, but no one really cares about the food buff. It's more about, would you like a giant beaver sort of shaped burger on your tabletop items? That's 20. Then we have the stage curtains that I use quite a lot. You get a stage curtain for 20. Those are really cool, especially if you want to make like your own little stage area in your FC house. Then we move on to some gear. We have these individual pieces of gear for 15 creation tomes each. So we have the augmented Lost Allegan Surcoat of Fending. Then we have the augmented Lost Allegan Surcoat of Maiming. Then we have the augmented Lost Allegan Coat of Striking. Then the Lost Allegan Jacket of Scouting. Then the augmented Lost Allegan Jacket of Aiming. Then the augmented Lost Allegan Coat of Casting. And finally, the augmented Lost Allegan Coat of Healing. All of those will cost you 15 individually. They decided to go for augmented Lost Allegan stuff, the chess piece this time. They always pick a random piece of gear, and that appears to be what they went for. Then we've got some movement speed increasing riding maps. We've got each of those will cost you 10 tomes each. We've got Central Shroud, East Shroud, South Shroud, North Shroud, Mordona, and Kerfus Central Highlands. Definitely pick these up if you haven't got them already. 10 is nothing, so yeah, great option. We've got some Triple Triad cards. Some of these might be useful to some people who haven't got them. We've got Mutamix, Bubbly Pots card, which is for 10 tomes. Memaroon for 10. Mist Dragon card, which is actually quite annoying to get, actually, if you don't want to do that particular dungeon over and over for a card, then 7 tomes is actually quite nice. Ultimate High Seraph, again, for 7 tomes. That's really useful for people trying to get the Triple Triad card mount, which involves getting all of the original Triple Triad cards from that achievement, including these ones. 7 tomes is, like, amazing, honestly. Then we have the one minion in this entire event, which is the Wind-Up Meat Eater, which is a fairly cool minion, honestly. That'll cost you 7 tomes. Then we have 2 more Orchestrion rolls. We've got the Smolder Orchestrion roll, obviously, which sounds like this. That's 7 tomes. And then we have Coming Home Orchestrion roll for 7, which sounds like this. Very cool stuff. And finally, we have the Job Mastery Magic Prism Fireworks, which are little stars that appear above your head. You get 10 of those for 1 tome. And that's pretty much the entirety of this. They have some disclaimers at the bottom. Certain items become available only after finishing certain quests. As you can probably imagine, Ultima Weapon stuff is only available to people who have completed the Ultima Weapon, and so on and so forth. The Triple Triad cards are only available for people who have unlocked the Triple Triad, and so on and so forth. So if you don't see something on the Moogle vendor on your character or your alt character or whatever, that's the reason why. Go and unlock it first. But yeah, nothing really new this year, which is very surprising. Usually there's a new item, but the Namazu Neckerchief is something to definitely get if you haven't got it already. And now might be a great time to finish off some mounts or some other bits that you might have missed. Anyway, hopefully this helped. Much love. Enjoy the rest of your day. Get excited for this next Moogle event. 6.3 is just around the corner. I'm very excited. And I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.